Today we're going to tackle side crow, as well as the same version with crescent lunge twist. So one knees are bent, and in the other, you have a leg extended behind you. So again, this is where balance comes into play, because you have a leg way back. Instead of being scrunched in a ball over your wrists and elbows, we have to be leaning a little more forward. So this is the true act of balancing. In order to lift the leg, you want to think of yourself as a teeter-totter. Hopefully most of you guys remember what those are, right? Like a seesaw, you know, there's like a metal thing in the middle, and there's like a plank, and two kids sit on it. Pamela's like, no, no, yes. Go Google that stuff. Siri. But, right, it's a plank. It's not like a wet noodle. So you're straight and you're strong, and you got to have a little bit of fun with it. So you might end up kissing your mat a few times. That's okay. So here we go. We're going to get right to it. We're going to start on your back, and we'll take a supine twist. We'll pick a side. Take your left knee up and over. Arms can come out, gaze lands wherever. And so as to not burn through most of your energy, I'll give you a little trick for strengthening your wrists, playing with balance, the core, towards the end after we're done working through these two postures. But like always, a little dab will do you. Even if you don't get it today, you can come back to it later in your day a couple of times, later on in the week. But I promise you, certainly by the end of the 7 days, you'll have an idea how to get into all of the postures. And instead of working yourself into exhaustion, trying to get it the first time or the second time, give yourself at least the 7 days, but certainly this is a practice we want to do for the rest of our life, so plenty of time to get there. As you come through neutral, we'll take your twist to the other side. And as always, we want to come from strength. So just like we support ourselves in all of the other postures, you want to have that same attitude here. And again, as you roll through center, we're going to set up a little bit of happy baby. So just bring knees up towards the armpits. Knees are going to fall wide. It might feel good to rock a little side to side, so more of a straddle stretch. It's kind of whatever is feeling good to you in this morning body. No more thinking, just kind of feeling your way through. Tucking your knees one more time. Maybe it feels good to rock and roll any number of times, but otherwise you're coming through seated, crossed legs. We'll find your tabletop. If you need a little cat and cow or threading of the needle or something, right? Take care of your body first. You can always hit pause and come back. But eventually we're going to move towards your downward facing. So we're taking your three-legged dog. Right, hips up, right leg reaches. You're going to peel open. Three-ish. Mostly stretching. We're going to work into a lot of strength. So there'll be plenty of that in the very near future. For now, just take a big reach, and as you exhale, knee towards nose, step through low lunge. We'll breathe your right fingers to the sky. So more of a stretch, a little bit of rinse for the shoulders, a length all the way down your spine. Exhale, drop palms. We're going to step into high plank today. So engage your legs. You're going to squeeze those little suckers like you had a block. Heels drop to the pick a side. Leave your top foot down. That bottom leg is going to be knee to the opposite elbow. 3. So that twisting, tucking, you can go back and forth a couple times. Extend, bring it up one more time. Tuck, squeeze the core, come back to high plank. Heels fall the other side. Remember, it's the under knee that's going to tuck opposite elbow. Maybe just once or twice. Get used to that squeeze. And through high plank, downward facing, we'll take it right to the opposite side. Left toes reach, peel open. You're going to stretch the side body. Right, as I promised you, plenty of bursts of work. So try to take as much stress out of this posture as you can. We'll save the work for your arm balances. And knee towards your nose, step through low lunge. You're gonna breathe those fingers to the sky, peel open. You get the ball of your back foot so you can move around. You can linger here, you can bring your back knee down. You got plenty of time. I'm gonna move you through it, so in case you're on a timeline today, drop the palm when you're ready. Step high plank, we'll do that same thing. Pick a side, heels drop, underknee tucks in, just one squeeze, real tight. Bring it back, high plank, heels fall the other side. Underneath, squeeze. Bring it back, high plank, and then hips up and back. Nice job. Get a good breath in and a good breath out. You're gonna bend your knees, look up your mat, walk on up. Ragdoll, just a couple of breaths, drop the head. You can work your feet out a little bit wider. So the beginning part of this side crow is your Utkatasana. Want to be a little bit in the heels. All right, I'm going to, Pamela, turn to face the camera. And you're going to pick a side. So it's as though you're setting up Utkatasana twist. You can prayer palm it or not. You can use a little hand, but you're going to hook the elbow on the outside of the thigh. So oftentimes when you see this, we're doing the version with training wheels and both elbows are to the thigh, but we're going to go for the full version today, which is planting your palms facing up. So you got to kind of trust fall a little over. And as Pamela starts to bend the elbows and bring the face towards the floor, butt comes up and therefore the feet start to lift. And then slowly you can come on out. Yeah, we're going to go right to the other side and you can shake it out. You can knock blocks over. So the assist I gave Pamela is literally as I reach under, I'm just grabbing the forearm. It's not much of an assist, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah. So it's like something wired in your brain that says, yeah, go for it. So the assist really isn't all that much. It's more like a little security blanket. Utkatasana, hook the elbow. Keep that connection, super important. Arms reach out like we did in crow, fingers face up. As you bring your face to the floor, towards the floor, and lift the butt, the feet will eventually lift. So again, teeter-tottering over the elbow, nice job. And that's it, right? You can bring your face all the way down if you have a cushy mat, right? And then feet will come up a little higher and you can play coming in and out. That's it. If you're gonna fall, just bring your feet down, not a big deal. If you're extra sweaty, make sure you're toweling off your elbows. So that very same thing, but with your crescent lunge. So now you have the leg way behind you. Get the blocks out from underneath you. And like that teeter-totter that you may or may not know about what I'm mentioning, but it's right here. It's that back leg. The knee tends to want to bend and come down and the hips want to sink as you're setting up. So the real trick is to stay active in the back leg, to stay lifted in the knee, because we're trying to work the butt up. So as you hook for the twist, extend the arms and reach. Fingers face the same direction as the toes. You have to bring your face almost to the ground here, extending the legs, squeezing the biscuit, and kicking this leg to the sky. Really go for it. Yeah. And then come on out. Notice, you could tell probably there was no breathing happening. Very normal. So make sure you take a moment, get the breath back. And then maybe on this other side, we try to get a breath or two in there. Tremendous amount of energy. Eventually, it's easier and easier once you find more balance and you know how to get in and out without expending all of your work. Hook the elbow, extend, right? Bending elbows, bend, 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 extend the legs, both of them. Wah! It's gonna be like cartwheels. There's a bad side and a worse side. Exactly. And shake out those little arms. There is, right, that little kickstand version, but we're gonna work with the full posture. You're gonna notice a tremendous amount of work. So if you haven't found a little bit of balance, you're gonna work with the Utkatasana version. So if you set up the twist in Utkatasana without raising your toes, I'm going to leave you in the work. So if you're still working on finding the balance, find the twist, extend arms, plant the palms, fan those fingers, squeeze the wrists. Don't lift the legs, just stay here in this tremendous amount of work. And that's where you just spend a few breaths until you can't breathe anymore. And then you come out. So we're going to save some energy, right? So that's one option, is to stay in that work because you're strengthening what we call the side body, which are lats and serratus and a bunch of goodies, right? Hugging armpits towards the side body. You can build a lot of strength there for the wrists, forearms, shoulder girdles, and certainly your core. And we're going to give you one more tool now that you have zero energy left. We're going to take these blocks. It's like a little bobblehead. You take them out in front of you in a little bit of malasana. And you set up these little T-Rex arms so that elbows, if you were standing upright, they kind of come to your low ribs. But if you were to draw the belly in and round a little, elbows get closer towards your hip bones. As you lean forward, as we've done a couple of times, press off the balls of your feet and press forward. And then you can come in and out of it a little bit without putting your toes down. So lift your head a little, Pamela. And bobble. So the trick with arm balance is, right, we're trying to sink onto often elbows. But we're also trying to lift. So two things at the same time. Elbows are poking into the core, so you want to keep that nice and strong. Right? And you don't have to be as quick about it. But that little bobble will teach you everything you want to know about finding balance in any of the arm balances. So if you have a little bit of energy, take that. Otherwise, we're going to take a stretch for the side body. So we're going to set up in a variation of your Parigasana, which is your gate pose. So similar to, I don't know why I can't think of the pose. Anyways, it's still not coming to me. So take a leg out, and we're going to take a heel behind you. So this is a variation of your gate pose. Our knee, the back knee, will go different places for each of us. I've seen students whose knees way back here. Mine is not. Mine's more like an L shape. So wherever you land comfortably, we're going to turn the heart to face your left knee. And we're going to find the lateral stretch over that front thigh. Yep. That left arm can go anywhere. Elbow can come on the floor. It's not about finding the toes. You might, but you might get a better stretch reaching for the sky or having a side bind, half bind. Wherever you get the stretch in the side body and deep breaths is where you're working. For 3. And then coming back through center, we'll simply take it to the other side. So swap legs, move slowly, make sure it's all okay on the joints. Right heel towards the bum. Yeah, where are my limbs? That's good, we don't know. And reaching over that front thigh. Make sure you can engage the left quad, flex those left toes a little. Yeah, give them a wiggle. I'll breathe here. 3, 2, nice job. And release. Just coming to a comfortable seated position. Yeah, maybe sit on a block, a bolster, maybe you're just a heap on the floor, all great options. So just close your eyes a moment, start to stack your spine gently, drop the shoulders, right? Feel the beads of sweat, the heat in the body, the energy. Sometimes it just takes those 15, 20 minutes to shift your entire day. And even to get, right, full-blown workout with gratitude. You don't even have to move, just bring your mind, forehead center, with respect for ourselves as around us in this practice. And we bow and we say, Namaste. So be playful. If it takes coming back to doing some cartwheels and somersaults and playing with a bobble, go for it. Cut yourself a little bit of slack. Trust that by the end of these 7 days, you'll have mastered a number of things, even if it's just falling. That is a skill set too. So be good to yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow, right? Toodles. I think about more like kicking into handstand, kind of that lightness. And I think if you kind of like find it once, then maybe it's, oh, yeah.
Okay, well, that's...
Yeah.